Sitting across from me is Marcus. And by the way, this is Marcus Jr., with whom Marcus shares an incredible father-son bond. You see, Marcus, he grew up without a dad. So being a good father to Marcus Jr. has been Marcus's #1 mission in life. But a year ago, Marcus says he was stunned when his then-girlfriend Nadine revealed that she had slept with somebody else and told Marcus that he may not be Marcus Jr.'s father. So listen to how painful this past year has been for Marcus.
Fatherhood to me, it is everything. You see, I didn't have a father growing up, and that caused me pain. It's a pain that no child should ever have to experience. That's why I take fatherhood very seriously, and I give my all every day. Marcus Jr. is my namesake. I love that boy with all of my heart. He makes every day brighter. When Nadine dropped the bomb on me that I may not be his father, I was sick. My little boy was already 1 year old when she did this. It's like, damn, how long you gonna wait until you tell the truth? I want answers today. As far as Nadine, she tells me that she loves me, but if you love someone, you don't lie to them.
Okay, you're upset. You're upset because for the last year, you've had lots of doubts.
I grew up without a dad, so I don't want Marcus Jr. to go through the same thing I went through, like all the pains, all the hurts. No fault, like no child should grow up without a dad. Like I didn't have my dad to teach me about the birds and the bees. I didn't have my dad to teach me about being a man. I didn't have my dad to teach me about, hey, when you become a father, this the certain things you do. I didn't have my dad for nothing.
How you treat women or how you treat other people. And that's what you're gonna do to Marcus Jr.
Oh yeah.
Except you got something going on in your head.
So we was like on and off. I was, at a point in time, I was staying with my aunt. And she moved in with me. So when she moved in with me, she wanted to get an apartment. And as she's about to move out, like I got my stuff packed and everything. This way she drops the bomb on me like, oh, I don't want to, I'm not ready to move in with you yet. So you just basically like just was taking my money to go save up for the apartment that we were supposed to get together.
Apparently, it was, you say on and off, and there were some on times.
Yeah, there was some on times, there was some off times.
In the off times, I guess, she slept with somebody else.
Yes.
But she says you're the father.
Honestly, I don't want to be the father.
Oh, I know you want to be. I can tell the relationship you have with your son. But here's the thing, Marcus. Your story and her story are completely different. She says when she got pregnant, she told you there was another guy. I don't know 100% whether it's yours. You say she dropped that on you a year later.
If she did tell me, I'm not even sure, because that's the thing, I forget things. The only thing I remember is the day I planned to hang out with her and the baby is when she dropped that bomb on me.
But you were there during the pregnancy, weren't you?
I was there during the pregnancy when she got pregnant, when the baby was born. I signed the birth certificate. I was there when he was born. I was at the hospital with him.
Were you surprised she wasn't honest with you from the start?
You could tell me you love me, because if you love somebody, you won't keep a secret like that from them.
What's the situation with her and you now?
We are very close. That's like, I could call her my best friend. Like if I'm going through anything, I would call her and tell her my problems because she'll give me advice.
But you're not intimate with each other right now?
Well, we are sometimes.
Sometimes? So,
yes.
So it's still off and on?
Yes.
Did you ever ask her for a DNA test before this baby was 2 years old?
I asked her when she was in the hospital.
What'd she say?
I asked her, I was like, I don't want to sign, because that's what the doctor said. He said, are you going to sign it? I said, I want to get a paternity test. She was so drugged up, her reaction was, don't do it because they're going to think you're not the father. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just going to sign it, put my name on it, and everybody be happy.
You think Junior looks like you?
No, yeah, most definitely. He does look like me.
Think so?
Yes. Look at the nose.
Do you know the other guy she was with?
I don't know him. I know of him.
Does she ever say that it could be the other guy?
Yeah, she told me.
Tell me how you bonded with this little boy.
Well, from the day he was born, it's the unconditional love I got for him. Like, in that video, I asked for a kiss. He gives me kisses. He's giving me hugs. He's a loving child. He's a happy kid. I've never had a happy kid like that. I've never been a happy person. And this is my joy. This is my joy right here.
You've never been happy?
I've been happy, but not like, I wake up happy. I don't wake up like that. He does, and when he does that,
he's happy all the time.
Yeah, it makes me feel like, all right, I'm doing something good then.
I guess so. Now Nadine joins us, and she has a very different story. Okay, but before we get into that, Nadine, these are important results for you too.
Yes.
Do you think he's the father?
In my heart, I believe he is the father.
In your heart?
Yes.
What about in your head?
It's a lot of different emotions in my head, you know? He looks like both of them to me. The other guy, he looks like his mom a little bit, and it's a lot going through my head, and I just want to know.
When did you tell Marcus that he might not be the father?
Well, when I first got pregnant, we didn't know exactly when I conceived. And he came with me to the ultrasounds, and we asked the doctor when exactly I conceived. Me and him sat down in the hospital after we found out when I conceived, and we also called to his mother and asked when exactly did we first get back together. We came up with the dates, and the dates all matched up from when Marcus was, since we got back together.
But and when Marcus Jr. was a year old, did you tell him?
After he turned a year old, I felt like his features were coming in more, and I kept bringing it up, but he really didn't want to get the DNA test. He even got a DNA test, and he swabbed both of them, and he just never went through with it.
Is that when I asked you for a DNA test in the hospital, you told me not to do it because the doctors would think that I wouldn't be the dad.
And I don't remember that at all.
And then anytime I asked you to do it through courts, you didn't want to do it because you say that you don't have the money. But when I was working, I could have did it. You just didn't want to go through with it.
I don't know. I guess I was just really scared.
You're scared.
We both were scared, basically.
You're scared it's the other guy.
Yeah, basically.
Do you see them interact?
Yeah, they have a beautiful relationship together.
Whose idea was it to get the DNA test now, you or Marcus?
Me. I was watching the show, and I was like, let me give them a call. I gave them a call. I didn't think you guys were going to respond, and I was really surprised, but...
Oh, we're pretty good in responding.
Yeah, I see. You guys responded to me the next day. But I was excited, but very scared at the same time.
Who, by the way, gave Marcus his name? Did you or Marcus?
It was both of us.
No.
Yeah.
You said, oh, since this is your first kid, you can name him whatever you want. I was going to name him Zion, but then I was like, no, since it's my first kid, my brother was like, don't name your son Zion. This is your first kid, so how about you name him Junior? I was like, all right, I'll go with Marcus. We was going to name him Zion, so we're not doing that.
I kept asking you, too, if you wanted him to be a junior, and I was like, are you sure?
You see some features in him and some features in the other guy.
Yes.
What reminds you of the other guy?
His skin color, the nose a little bit, the hair.
Why, the skin color's too light?
There was another child involved in the other party, and I seen pictures, and it really reminded me a lot of him.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Marcus, I got to ask you this. What happens if I read the wrong answer here?
I'm not sure. I'll just probably take a deep breath and I don't know.
You still have a bond with this boy?
Yeah, this is my kid. Whether that result is whatever, that's my son, man. I don't want...
In the case of 2-year-old Marcus Jr., Marcus, you are not the father. Are you in touch with this other guy?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be glad to give him a test, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go console him? You still have a bond with that little boy. He's not an infant, he's 2. Okay? You know as well as I do, your child needs a parent in his life. You are not the father.